So today we have Andrea Mason, who is the winner of the JAS-SAS Emerging Investigator Award on her paper, Provenance of Tin and the Late Bronze Age Balkans based on probabilistic and spatial analysis of tin isotopes. Congratulations, Andrea.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's really, I feel very honored to have gotten this award, and it's very special to me.
No, I think it's my pleasure to be able to speak to you. So can you tell us a bit more about your background? How did you get into archaeology and more specifically archaeological science?
Sure. Well, I was a geology major in college at DePaul University in Indiana. And I'm born and raised in New York. So after college, I came back home and I signed up for the master's program at Brooklyn College. And there, my master's was in Western Serbia, and what we were doing was measuring tin concentrations in fluvial sands in streams and seeing how they correlated with Bronze Age settlements right next to the streams. And so in that project, we found a strong correlation with tin-bearing streams next to Bronze Age settlement sites around this mountain region. And where there wasn't any tin, there wasn't any pottery found. And so after that, the next clear step was, well, that was a strong correlation, but how do we really kind of get a significant kind of answer to, were they exploiting these tin ores to make their bronze artifacts? And so that kind of opened the door for my dissertation thesis, which was looking at tin isotopes. And we got really lucky because we went to a talk at the American Museum of Natural History, and our current our current colleague, he was doing a talk on copper isotopes, and he was saying how he was really interested in applying copper isotopes to archaeological artifacts. And so we said, you know, we have this great opportunity to look at how to apply tin isotopes to bronzes. Would you be willing to help us? And then, you know, that collaboration just kind of took off. And, you know, we've been working together ever since, not only with tin isotopes, but with other isotopic elements. And so it's been really just great to, that one talk really kind of put me on the path to graduating. So.
But this is the best kind of collaboration, that one that is least expected, and then that leads you on a path that you didn't expect at all.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, sorry, go ahead.
It was just one of those things where, you know, I remember being in the field and saying like, oh, we really need to use tin isotopes to really figure this out. But, you know, you don't have the resources. We didn't know who we would work with. And then it just kind of happened. And so it was kind of like this meant to be kind of thing. And, you know, and it just really made our team stronger. And then down the line, we really needed somebody to help with the probabilistic kind of calculations when we had this huge database. And so we needed somebody who could do some statistical analysis to kind of help us strengthen our argument. And then we got another colleague who would help us with that. So we kind of are picking the people along the way to really strengthen our arguments and make our team, you know, as best as it can be.
Well, as we can tell, because of the prize that you get from this project. So congratulations again. Well, I think you kind of answered my second question of what inspired you to write this paper and on your project on tin isotope. But how do you see your work is going to develop in the future? Are you going to continue pursuing a tin isotope? And as you mentioned, you're working also on other isotopes as well. You're going to develop other arena.
Yeah, well, I think our team is kind of working on a lot. We have a lot of fires going on at the same time. But with my research in particular, one thing that really came up with tin isotopes is we found a geographical region where the signature wasn't really matching any of the ores we were processing. And so we've always kind of looked at that area in like Romania, and just kind of seeing like where exactly, it's always kind of been a question, like where exactly are they getting their tin ores from? Because it doesn't seem to be matching up with any of our stuff. And I think, you know, just the more data you collect, the more bronzes you collect, the more tin ores, it's it's a matter of filling in these gaps in the puzzle that is the Bronze Age, but also like the trade routes and knowing, who was bringing what where, how were they getting it. I mean, a lot of, trade during this time was through waterways and by boat. So we know that the Danube was a huge trading avenue along through Europe at that time. So it's just, yeah, it's a constant, you can always continue working with tin isotopes, or you could always go to, different like sources of trade. So at this point, it's like, there's so many ways we could go. But it's exciting to kind of see like unanswered questions, even in your research, that you can kind of turn to.
Absolutely, and I can feel the excitement when you're describing all these things and possible streams of research that you guys would like to explore. Do you have, since you guys are producing more and more data, I'm just wondering, do you have, you and your team, do you guys have plans to create an open access database very similar to the lead isotope database created by the Oxford team?
I think that would be great. Unfortunately, we don't have the funding for that right now, but I do think something along those lines is really important and would be beneficial not only to us, but just to have this database that people could turn to, such like the lead database, but also just make that for the tin isotope database and other isotopes, really. That would be great, but I guess at this time we don't have plans in the near future for that.
So has it been very challenging for you to carry out research in the lab and in the field because of the pandemic?
COVID has definitely changed things. We unfortunately aren't able to travel like we used to. I mean, I had been going to Serbia for almost 10 years. So not being able to go for, unforeseen reasons is just really sad, but also, it's just kind of nerve-wracking because you really want to get back to doing what you like to do. But, with any challenge in the field or with your research, you just have to adapt. So I know that there have been samples being sent through the mail. And, if people are interested in continuing, then they just send what they have, or they can sample it and send it to us and we can analyze it. So there's always a way around, and making it work. And I think with this time with COVID, it's all about just adapting, making it work, and doing the best that you can while you can.
So what would be the tips that you give to other emerging researchers on if they want to write a paper to submit for this award? What would be your advice?
My advice would be get yourself a really good team. I'm very confident in my team. I felt very supported. And we all, it's an archaeogeometallurgy team with a dash of statistics. So, we all play our parts and we all play important parts. And I feel like it's really important to have a really good kind of support system that can help you. And also just, the more scientific minds to help you make a sound argument is important too.
So thank you very much for being with us today and sharing your experience and your insight into your research. I really look forward to reading your next paper.
Oh, okay.
Your upcoming research.
Thank you so much.